Invincible, but I guess finally he decides to lock in. Insane. Let me see. And now we cut to like Oliver seeing Mark get freaking destroyed on TV, and he's gonna help. That's what Oliver does. He's the first one out, and he's just gonna go help his brother, even against Debbie's wishes. She really doesn't want to send him, but she can't realistically stop him, and he'll be. I mean, once Mark's down, everybody else is next. Honestly, so Debbie has to endure as always, and Debbie's just amazing for real. Best mom ever. Best mom ever. So Oliver pulls up. Well, at least tries to pull up. Mark is literally getting beaten faster than Oliver can fly to help. He literally can't catch up. That's how fast and Mark's getting his ass beat. Kinda insane. I love it. After touching down, after getting flung miles and miles away, Mark kind of just looks around and just says, "Stop." And the worst part is, Conquest actually stopped to tell him he was crazy to ask him to stop in that situation. I can't tell who's crazy. But during that commotion, Oliver finally can sneak in and hit Conquest. And oh, the hit Mark, I mean, the hit freaking Oliver gave him, it was actually beautiful. I saw it was just so good. Oh, it was so smooth. From the wind to the impact to the hair. Oh, chef's kiss. So after Oliver does his dynamic entry, beautiful dynamic entry, he literally goes and rushes Conquest and says the iconic line of "big ass beatdown incoming." He was not wrong. That boy is a prophet, because boy is he right. Conquest freaking slapped generations of pain into this man. Like, I saw a comment someone say, "Yo, Conquest let Oliver relive his heritage of being a bug." Actually insane. He got squashed, and oof. And after that, been there just as long as me is already. It's tragic, but it just shows how bad this situation is. So after getting hit by Conquest, Oliver is literally bleeding up all his blood, and he lost all his baby teeth. They'll grow back, and he's fine. He can walk that off. And sadly, Negan decides to help him with a growth spurt, and he grew 3 more feet that day. Sadly enough, and Mark had to step in. And he got him just before things got tragic. So now, once again, it's back to Glenn versus Negan. It's back to our rumble, and now Eve starts to wake up, which is really good because Mark used all the help he could get. I still don't know why the Guardians or nobody else has come to, pull up, but I get it. This is literally hours after the Invincible War, and like who? I mean, somebody can show up to help, but we just got nothing else right now. So Eve calls Cecil so she could get teleported to help Mark. W wife. He's doing everything he can, and I mean, it wasn't a bad attempt, but he's still getting pressed out. But Eve, she hits the Dark Phoenix rise, and she respawns. I'm gonna just call it Atomic Eve mode, and she hits him with the best beam and freaking melts his flesh off his body. Actually insane and gross. He's down to the muscle layer. I'm pretty sure she zapped his dick off, but he still tanks it somehow. And yeah, I'm pretty sure once you lost your thing, there's no point in going back on that. I'd have just killed over right there. But he muscles through, and Mark has to finish this now. And then he pummels him. He pummels Conquest, and you think it was enough, but he still got enough to break Mark's one last arm. And Mark said that's not enough, and he turned his face into hamburger meat. Again, that's the Mark special. He turns people into hamburger meat. And this time, Glenn won. Glenn beat Negan in this timeline. That's what I like to see. And it was a good. It was a good. Yeah, it was. It wasn't bad. I mean, he didn't look as bad as Angstrom. Angstrom looked fucking disgusting. Insane, actually. Dog meat. After turning Conquest into freaking hamburger meat, Mark crawls over to see Eve, and they get to say they love you, which was sweet in that situation because he thought she was done, and trauma. But now Cecil and everybody else pulls up like, well, yeah, why didn't nobody pull up a little bit earlier? But I mean, they probably wouldn't have done anything, but yeah, yeah, maybe they just didn't do that because they were dead. But then Cecil looks at Conquest as roadkill, and he says, "Huh," as in, yeah, we're about to take that body and use it to make make more reanimate. And but you know what? Maybe I'll give it a pass because the Invincible War was literally probably not even a day, and they got maybe a day, and they getting all this bad stuff to happen. So yeah, and then we wrap up the Conquest fight, Chef's Kiss. And when is Eve gonna be in Marvel Rivals? I'm waiting. All right, the next thing we get the funeral, and they did Rex's funeral kind of dirty. Like some people, maybe I can excuse some people being in a costume. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe only Mark and Eve I can forgive being in costume, but was it Black Samson? Black Samson is in costume. Like, bro, no suit. And then a lot of people weren't happy. I mean, oh my god, not happy. They were looked like they weren't even there, or they just background. Nobody had a lot of feeling in this funeral. I mean, it's a couple, but it was sad because Rex is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. He didn't always be the GOAT, but after he clutched up against a Lizard League man, everybody loves Rex. And nobody's there to help Ray. She's literally in the far back, couldn't even go there because she was so broken, and then she's crying and no one's there to help, and no one knows, and it's really sad. And then Eve goes up and says, she tries to talk, but she loved him, and things weren't great because he was a fucker at the beginning point, but he turned that around for her. He was there when she needed it, and that's usually what. Unfortunately, we take what we can get sometimes. Oh, and then Robot. I don't even know where to start with Robot. I don't think we ever even got a conclusion. We knew Rex hated that he stole his identity theft him and body cloned him, and we never really got a good resolution to that. We kind of just live with it because it is what it is at that point. But and then Rex ended up. I mean, not Rex. And then Robot took his name. I don't know. It's just unfortunate. And then I guess you could forgive some because all the insanity that's been happening the last couple of days, maybe people just had whiplash. So it's hard for me to get a clear understanding how I feel about it. But maybe that's just how some people was turning about it. So, but that funeral was Rex deserved a little bit of a better funeral. And then we find out that Cecil's actually keeping Conquest, and he's alive. I mean, to be granted, he didn't look as bad as Angstrom, but he has him in prison, and he's gonna get him to talk about the veteran. No, you can't make him talk. This man uses Conquest as therapy. That's his problem. He goes around conquering planets and destroying and making upheaving civilizations because nobody wants to talk to him. He's using it as therapy. There's nothing you can say to this man. Nothing. But Cecil thinks he can keep him, and No, terrible idea. And this is like the debate is who's right, Mark or Cecil, and then this is just a really bad idea. And somehow things are just gonna get worse because the Squid Game invasion is literally they're building stacks underground, and they had a problem enough with one host, and now they have could be hundreds of hosts. Oh man, I just I just don't know. I don't know how it gets more insane after this, but apparently it just will. And that's why I've been loving Invincible. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you liked it too, and yeah, have a great day.